I used to smell the coffee that my parents would make in the morning. And I don't understand how those moments connect to this moment in which I have a Greg's cup. This is a reusable cup that I take to the Greg's so that I don't use a paper cup. And I think because it's Christmas time and it's cold that I'm connecting memories. You know how sometimes a few times a year part of you lives in the past and your body will feel this feeling that's very specific, like the exact feeling of being in your childhood bed or looking out the window. I don't know. There must be some neurons. Neurons must be like presents. And there must be some neuron, some long forgotten present that is still somewhere in the antique mall of my mind. Some gift that I was given that I think if you walk around long enough, all your neurons get shaken up, or if the wind blows really hard, the neurons get shaken up, and some of these old ditties come out, and you think, Jesus Christ, I haven't felt that feeling in a long time. And today, I'm like, I must have like rolled around at night because all the antique neurons have fired again. It's like popcorn or something. And I'm like, what is this coffee childhood Christmas feeling? This is not the longest esoteric niche advertisement for Greg's you've ever seen. Although if they were smart, they would sponsor me. And I would talk about Greg's through the lens of nostalgia, neurological nostalgia. I honestly think that, like, the darkest, cynical part of me thinks that neurological nostalgia is what, like, how some advertisers deeply do think about these things. I said in one of my last videos that I was gonna be a villain, and that would be very villainous of me, as if I like started making weird advertiser content. I've tried to be villainous, but I can't even sell my cups that I made, not because people have been buying them, which I really appreciate. I think it's like fun merchandise. I just forgot to put the link anywhere. Like, I made cups as like fun little things for my channel, and I didn't put the link anywhere. Like an idiot. It took forever for me to remember to put the link somewhere so people can buy them. But I'm not a very good cup seller, so that plan's not working well. I'm gonna retire them. I think they're amazing for the winter, but when spring comes and new life is meant to emerge, sometime in March, it's my birthday month, I think I'll retire all the cups and I'll put up like one really special thing for my birthday or something. But I'm trying to be villainous, but I really I'm having a hard time. I think somehow I don't know what's going on. I'm having a hard time being as edgy as I used to once be. That's tough. When I went out to get this Greg's coffee, I went on the high street where I live in the early morning, so no one's out there, but the Greg's had some people inside it, and there was a woman standing outside it, right outside the Greg's, looking in, And sometimes the line at the Greg's is really long, so I stood behind her because clearly she was in line. And then a woman came to stand behind me, and finally the woman in front of me just turned around and she looked so bewildered. And she said, "I'm not in the queue." And I said, "Oh," made some sound, and then me and the woman walked in. But I heard her say, she was like, "You stopped for 1 minute. Like, you stopped for 1 minute and people are gonna line up behind you." And I looked in the empty street and I was like, "You chose to stand outside the one coffee shop that is open." She was so bewildered that she had just chosen to take a rest outside, I guess. Who was she? I don't know. But I thought it was funny. So even then I had a hard time being grumpy about it. So not very villainous, because I thought, well, that's really funny. However, on my walk home, having secured the cappuccino, there was a woman with a stroller who was like walking behind me. And I have something, I don't know where it's from, but essentially, like, it's one of the more annoying things about me. If I'm walking around with somebody, and sometimes I'll just randomly say, like, "Can we pull over?" And we'll have to pull over, because if somebody is walking very closely behind me consistently, I'll freak out. I just freak. So I say, "Can we pull over?" And then like let that person pass, because I cannot. It's like skeleton bone hands tickling my neck. I cannot handle somebody walking behind me and I can't see them, but I can hear their little clip clop. If I can hear a clip clop, if the shoe is a clip clop quality, I'll lose my mind. I'll freak out. And I've been trying to get better at this. And when that happens in public, I say, "It's okay. I'm not being followed by Jack the Ripper. It's probably just a nice lady. Don't freak out." And on my way home, I was followed by a woman with a stroller, and her stroller was making this crunchy sound on the stone. And it was almost exactly like the static radio in Silent Hill, like when there's a monster in the area. So the whole time I was just trying to like stay calm. It's 8:30 in the morning. I have a coffee, and that sound was just following me all the way home. It was a nightmare. And I knew it was a human child in the stroller. I knew it was a human child. But the whole time I kept picturing this Silent Hill monster, like twitching, skin, creepy. So that was maybe the most villainous part of my morning, was being terrified of it. An infant baby. Anyway, I have my reusable cup. I'm pretty happy about it. I've been trying not to use paper cups. And England is so good about, you can take reusable cups in coffee shops and they'll do it. Anyway, I've been thinking a lot about nostalgia, and that feeling of certain moments connecting you to when you were somewhere else, somewhere special. And for some reason, this Christmas, this winter, is connected to spring this past year. I don't get it. And I don't know why. I think there are some things about the nervous system and thought that are yet to be explained. One of them, I was thinking of this castle ruin that I saw. This is not special. I'm not Cinderella. I thought I heard some cats. We have 2 outdoor cats here that come around and I feed them. One of them came in. It was like under the couch. Anyway, they come and they meow for snacks. I thought I was hearing one, but then it went away. But anyways, I was thinking about things that I don't know how to explain, and I've been trying to walk more because I don't know where the TMI line is, but on my left side of my body, my muscles are weaker than the right, including my glutes. My gluteus maximus. Anyway, I need some help. I need some help in the booty department because I need to be like walking. I need strength. I need muscle. So I do squats and I do like walking up the stairs. And I was out in the spring, way far away from London, in this like way out there, and I was walking and I saw a like castle ruin or some type of ruin in the distance, and I thought, oh my god, what in the world? The American mind, my American mind, cannot comprehend what I'm seeing. So I walked all the way over there. It was a nightmare for my body, but I had to do it. And it was this creepy like apartment block thing, in the olden days. Rich people would have lived in there or stayed in there as part of this guy's like castle estate. But it was like there was this cold air almost like emanating from the middle of this tall tower that had 3 sides, and it went down in the earth, and it was almost like when I got up there, like the whole world was spring, and all of that place. This was in a place called Shropshire, and this village was the village or town of Clun, Clun, and it was like that was all spring and beautiful. And then I climbed up this hill to get to this thing, but the inside of it was not spring. It was like winter. It was winter in there. And so I keep, even though that was months and months ago, I've been thinking about that building. It's associated with winter memories. Isn't that weird how that works? Oh, and I tried to take a little piece. A piece of it had fallen, and there was like little bits of shards of stone all over the ground. I tried to take one and it cut me. It cut me immediately. I noticed that weird vibe, and then it cut me when I tried to take a piece. I don't know if you're superstitious or if you believe in the spirits of places or whatever, but it was a complicated energy. Anyway, I feel like neuron fired then, and it's firing again now, and for some reason memories connect in this really weird way that I don't get, and I don't know if anybody gets. Like, why does that happen? Sometimes you'll be transported into a completely different year and a completely different time, and the cold, I find that cold is extra good at it. One of the most an amazing movie is Call Me By Your Name, and I really resisted this movie because I was really wanting to maybe edge myself out in a position of a snobbery, and I really wanted to be opposed to Timothy Chalamet getting to wave the flag of anything gay. But then I watched it, and it's absolutely incredible. The book is incredible. It's incredible, and the author, but also the film, nails summer. It nails the kind of youthful summer. It's almost painful. It's like incredible to feel those seasonal sensations from that film and that book. Wow, you can like feel what it feels like to wear shorts. It's the only way I can describe it. Like to have the heat on your back, to like lay out in the sun. Then those films, those books become your memories. They're part of your memories. It's almost like the whole world has a nervous system. It's all one big nervous system. Pinging and firing, what have you. Something else that's, I feel like, not well explained or explored is I've found that when I am invited to something or I have plans, it's no question. It's all in my body. I get up, I get dressed, I get there, I spend the day, and I come home and it was good. And so I've got things on my calendar. It's a no-brainer. And then there are moments, plans, events, where I can't picture it in my head. And there's some part of me that knows or feels that it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And there have been times I actually get up. I put the clothes on. I even get on the train. And the whole time I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to go, even though I'm on the way. And at some point I will turn around, and it's just this overwhelming feeling of like, I can't picture it. I just can't picture it in my head. And it feels like it's not manifested, even though I'm on the way. How can it not manifest when all I have to do is go to the event? And yet, about, like 1 out of every 30, 40, it's rare times that I have to go somewhere, do something, it will just overwhelmingly feel like outside of me that it's not going to happen. I'm not going to go. One time I went all the way down to the coast, and I was standing waiting for a bus to take me to like this group event, and I just knew I wasn't going to go. And I looked down the street, and then I crossed it and went right back to the station. That was like an hour journey. I don't know why. It just happens that way. I think Greg's is the perfect coffee for thinking about the mysteries of consciousness. That would be another good marketing strategy. Greg's feels thoughts of the mystery of consciousness. Shake up the bag of your neurons. Unshelf your antique neurons. Greg's. Antique neurons. I think that's what I'm going to call these phenomena, is antique neurons. They have aura, they have vibe, and I think every brain has shelves full of them, these weird esoteric little nerves and moments of memory. You smell some pine needle scent, and oh god, all of a sudden you're 14, you're 9, I don't know, your grandma's still around, there's cookies. Or you ever smell glue? Like Elmer's glue? I don't know if England has that. Like just classic glue smell, or pool water, sunscreen, and sometimes it's music. Sometimes it's just the physical sensation of being outside. It's like it wakes you up. And lately I've been going for these walks in the morning. I call them depression walks or mental health walks because I don't have depression, but I do notice my mental health is so much better when I go for a walk most days. And it'll be that thing of like when you feel that intense cold and there's ice on the ground. Wow, it takes me all kinds of places. It takes me to a lot of seasons of life. A lot of seasons of life. Kind of deep nostalgia that is still somewhere in my... Where does that stuff get stored? That's why I don't understand. How is that all stored in the brain? I don't get that. The exact bodily sensation of sitting by the pool when you're 10, or I don't know, looking at Christmas lights when you're 16. Where? It's brought up from where? Where is that? I don't understand how these things work. I don't get how memory works and functions. I just know that the blue hour, Christmas, the smell of coffee, there are these things, these little spatulas that flip the neurological pancakes. Where is this stuff coming from? I don't know, but it's there. And for me, I'm deeply in that. I'm just enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. It makes me feel real. It makes me feel absolutely real. Sometimes I think people have nostalgia for constructs, like a bad job even. Some people, like, I'm one of those that kind of obsess over a bad job that I've had or what have you. Yeah. Like, I remember my corporate job. It's like more corporate academic job, and I remember I have a picture of it. I had to go find a lamp. I took a picture of the lamp, I think at the time, because I knew that this was an important part of my life where I had to go find a lamp in this empty building, and I was living this made-up job, and I was exhausted and it was freezing cold. I had to wear sweaters in this fluorescent building, and one of my tasks that day was to find a lamp. And I went and I found the lamp, and I felt so strong, like I was living in a dream. I was living in a dream. And my pictures from this time, like, I took a photo of the lamp. I took a photo of the coffee machine that I would get coffee from every day, multiple times a day, just staring at it. And I was wearing my employee badge, my little work pants, my sweater, and I would just stand there and I'd watch the coffee come out. And holding that coffee was the only thing that made me feel like a human being. It's this messed up job in the middle of nowhere, in Silver Lake, California, where I'm not from. I was just like, why am I in LA? What am I doing? Why am I in this building? What, it sounds miserable, but there's a part of me that like lives there forever. And I have one of my antique neurons is like still looking for that lamp and getting coffee in an empty building, mostly empty, because other people got to work hybrid, but I didn't. I had to work there in person every day. Miserable. And there's something about it, like when we're haunted by these antique neurons. Even this, Greg's, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be in the UK in a year. I don't know where I'm gonna be in a year. Like, one of my neurons will always be in line at Greg's. That's awesome. I can't wait till I'm like 60 and I'll be doing something, walking around, and the wind will blow just right, and I'll be right here, right now with Greg's again. I'll be like, remember that? Do you remember the freshly ground fair trade coffee of Greg's? This, I swear, is not one weird ad for Greg's. It keeps feeling like that. I don't know, I just love Greg's and I'm on it. And it's the symbolic part of my brain that is attaching this entire phase of my life to a chain coffee shop called Greg's. But it's, yeah, forget Greg's. You don't need to go to Greg's. But you should go to Greg's. I highly recommend it. It's pretty sick. It's pretty off the hook. And they have these reusable cups you can get. I remember one weird school lesson from my childhood in Texas, where we got to eat fried rice off of paper plates and learn how to use chopsticks. And to this day, I'm like, why did we do that? What? It was so random. I mean, honestly, It's one of the more kind of, I don't know what you would call it. It's one of the more like human things that we did, but we had fried rice from like the one Chinese restaurant in our small town. It was like, at the time there's no Greek food, there is no global food, there's no Indian food, no Japanese, nothing. Fried chicken, burgers, one Chinese place, and it was everyone's. Love that. And we were all kids in this classroom, and they gave us fried rice on a paper plate, and we learned how to use chopsticks. A bunch of Texas kids like trying to use chopsticks. It was a great fun lesson, but to this day I'm like, what was that? We were rated unacceptable. There's a rating system in the state of Texas that rates schools. The Taylor, Texas school system for a long time was rated unacceptable, which is literally has consequences where parents are allowed to send their kid outside to a different district because, anyway, we were rated unacceptable. We couldn't do math, we couldn't do English, but we were learning how to eat fried rice off a plate with chopsticks. That's one of my favorite lessons that we learned to this day. I thought, yes, let's bring more of that real life education, please. Anyway, I hope that you're doing good. I've been listening to this song that is so beautiful. One of my favorite artists is Omar Hound. This type of music is very good for the antique neurons. So it's very good for triggering the antique neurons. I think it's called Archaeoacoustics. I think it's my favorite album. It's very ruinous, full of ruin, imagery and sounds. And I think about that crumbly little building in Cologne where I was, and how I keep thinking about that, and it's this vessel, this portal into another world, and has a kind of permanent winter dark energy that I really love, and I like how complicated it is. And Omar Hound makes music that's kind of that feeling, another place, another time, but it stirs you, connects you to all of that, all of this energy and feeling. So I've been listening to this one song that is so beautiful. It doesn't have a verbal name, it's just, you'll see, it's just a symbol. It's like little dots, so there's no way to say the name, but maybe I'll try and either slow it down and put it in this video, or I'll link it below. But I've been listening to a lot of antique neuron music, as opposed to, because I love goth music, I like kind of traditional, musicianship, but I've been listening to a lot of this kind of soundscape ambience. There's a YouTube channel I love called Universal Ambience. You might have seen it, where it's ambient music inspired by paintings, but they're like geographic. They have this geographic flavor and this history time-based flavor. So it'll be like Pompeii, and then a song inspired by that, etc., etc. I had to wait for like a really long, loud, screeching train, and then a plane to pass. I forgot what I was saying actually, but I probably forgot what I was saying because I've been living in the world of the unconscious flow state of symbols store of the mind. And sometimes, I think you're called into the corporate office of the mind and you have to do your work. But then there are just seasons of your life that call for the antique store, and all kinds of things come up, and all kinds of weird little hauntings, and it's such a magical place to be. It's such a magical way to live, and I adore that. And I think that's why I like stuff, because stuff, not just digital stuff like songs, but like physical things like my to-go cup, they are just like little portals into the antique store, so I can get there quick and then I get inspired. So I'm a souvenir person too. Like if I travel, I'm getting a souvenir. Yeah, I'm not just gonna live in here, I'm not just gonna live in the moment. Screw that. I'm gonna take a million billion photos and I'm gonna print them out. I take photos and I print them out of everywhere I go, and I'm gonna get souvenirs in the souvenir shop, and I'm gonna take like a leaf that it's not just gonna live in my mind. I don't live in the moment. I do capture everything digitally, and I love souvenirs. I got this pencil from the Mermaid Inn. They put like little pencils and pads of paper in the room. So I got this pencil. This is in Rye, in the UK, on Mermaid Street. Mermaid Street. I got this pencil. I have so many ideas and videos and books and stuff, but today is a day at a time, and it called for an antique neuron ramble, because that's where I am. I can do anything on this channel. I can say anything on this channel, which I'm acutely aware of, and it's actually terrifying. I wanted to say a little bit about the Blue Hour Christmas Sunscreen Smell neurons and my Greg's to-go cup, which is making me feel like a human being. I know, even though it's a commodity. Such is life, such is the complicated nature of life and memory, huh? I hope that you are well. I hope that you have your own Blue Hour memories to mull over and throw around. And it's that cold weather, I wonder what kinds of things it will inspire. Hopefully some coziness. So anyway, that's it for this video, and for me. Again, I'm gonna try and sneak this most beautiful song ever in this video, or I'll link it in the description. This gorgeous little Christmas tree ornament of a song. Ooh, this little coin of a song. Put in my pocket. Oh, absolutely. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me, being here. I will be seeing you very soon. Maybe with an intellectual video, less of a unconscious simple video. We're gonna see. Who knows? So thank you. Good night if you're going to sleep. And I hear the cat, so I'm gonna go feed the cat. Good. Bye. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.